The Karvash had ruled the stars for over 7,000 years. Standing 3 meters tall, covered in chitinous armor that could deflect energy weapons, and possessing both superior strength and intelligence, they had encountered no species that could challenge their dominance. Their vast empire spanned 17 star systems, each conquered with methodical precision, each native species either subjugated or exterminated depending on their usefulness. The xenobiologists of the Galactic Preservation Society had classified the Karvash as perfect evolutionary specimens, apex predators who had developed spaceflight. Their tribal structure centered around hunting prowess, with elaborate rituals marking the ascension of warriors who had claimed the most impressive kills. The greatest honor in their society was to return with the head of a worthy opponent. For millennia, the Karvash had found the galaxy full of prey, not predators, until they encountered humans. The first contact occurred at Nova Antares, a small mining colony on the outer rim of human expansion. The settlement was modest, just under 12,000 inhabitants, maintaining helium-3 extraction facilities for Earth's ever-growing energy needs. When the Karvash scout ship arrived, they observed the colony for 3 standard days, cataloging human behaviors, technologies, and apparent weaknesses. The Karvash hunting party that descended on the colony expected an easy harvest. Their intelligence suggested humans were physically unimpressive, no natural armor, limited strength, dull senses. A species of soft prey, perfect for the ritual of first blood that would mark this new territory as part of the Karvash hunting grounds. What the Karvash couldn't understand, was that humans had evolved from persistent hunters on a death world, that behind their unassuming appearance lay the most dangerous trait in the galaxy: adaptability forged through millions of years of constant struggle. The initial attack killed 37 colonists before the settlement's defense protocols activated. The Karvash were surprised to meet resistance, but pleased at the prospect of sport. They had encountered defensive capabilities before. All eventually failed. Director Maya Okafor was preparing her morning coffee when the emergency sirens began wailing. By the time she reached the colony's operations center, the settlement's AI had compiled preliminary data on the attackers. Unknown species, the tactical officer reported, her voice steady despite the blood trickling from a gash on her forehead. They breached the eastern quadrant. Security teams are engaging, but conventional weapons seem ineffective against their armor. Maya studied the footage from the colony's surveillance system. The attackers moved with predatory grace, their movements suggesting not just physical power, but tactical intelligence. This wasn't a mindless assault, this was calculated hunting. "Patch me through to Earth Command," she ordered, "and activate the HAMER protocol." The security officer paled. "Director, HAMER hasn't been field tested. The colonists in that sector will die anyway if we don't stop these things," Maya finished grimly. "Do it." The HAMER protocol had been developed after the Centauri incident, when humanity realized the galaxy might contain threats beyond their current military capabilities. It was a weapon of last resort nanites, designed to identify and exploit weaknesses in unknown biological systems, adapting in real time to create targeted bioweapons. Ethical concerns had limited its deployment, but Maya knew they had no choice. The eastern quadrant was sealed off, the nanite swarm released. Within hours, the Karvash hunting party began to falter as the microscopic machines identified vulnerabilities in their respiratory systems and exploited them. By the time Earth's Rapid Response Fleet arrived 3 days later, the colony had lost 112 people. All 17 Karvash were dead. The High Council of the Karvash Empire received news of the failed hunt with disbelief. No prey species had ever eliminated an entire hunting party before. Intrigued, rather than intimidated, They dispatched not one, but 3 warships to this human world. Such unique prey deserved special attention. They didn't realize they had awakened something ancient and terrible in humanity, the collective memory of existential threat, the primal response to predation. Commander Elena Way stood before the United Earth Defense Council, her expression solemn as she outlined what intelligence had gleaned from the Nova Antares incident. Admiral Okoro leaned forward. "Your recommendation, Commander." Elena took a deep breath. What she was about to propose violated every diplomatic protocol established since first contact with the peaceful Arcturus Collective decades earlier. "We strike first, sir. The Karvash only understand predator and prey. We need to show them we are neither. We are something they've never encountered before. We are exterminators." The campaign that followed would later be classified at the highest security levels, the details redacted from public historical records. Humanity, faced with a species that could not be reasoned with, embraced its darkest evolutionary legacy. Earth's most elite special forces units, augmented with cutting-edge biotechnology and AI tactical systems, were deployed in what was officially designated as Preemptive Defense Operation Mongoose. They studied Karvash biology, behavior, and society, identifying vulnerabilities that the Karvash themselves didn't know existed. The hunters became the hunted. Human strike teams infiltrated Karvash worlds using stealth technology. They didn't attack populations directly. They targeted the environmental systems that the Karvash depended on. They introduced tailored pathogens into ceremonial hunting grounds. They disrupted the complex pheromone signals that Karvash used for social hierarchies. Within 18 months, the once mighty Karvash Empire was in disarray. Their leadership structure, unable to process the concept of a prey species that fought back systematically rather than defensively, collapsed under its own rigid hierarchies. The final confrontation occurred at Karvash Prime, where the last great hunting fleet had gathered to launch a desperate assault on human space. They never left orbit. Quantum-entangled devices simultaneously detonated in the drive cores of every major vessel, a feat of infiltration and coordination that had required sacrifices few outside the Special Operations Command would ever know about. 5 years after first contact at Nova Antares, the Karvash were officially designated an extinct species. Their former subject worlds were granted independence under the protection of the Earth Alliance, their technology studied and archived, their history preserved as a warning. In the Great Hall of the Galactic Preservation Society, the xenobiologist T. Ran updated the official classification for humans. No longer listed under technological omnivores, humanity was reclassified into a category previously thought theoretically impossible: apex apocalypse species. The entry contained a simple warning for all spacefaring civilizations. They were not evolved to be predators. They were evolved to eliminate predators. Approach with utmost caution and respect. Throughout the 17 worlds, once ruled by the Karvash, monuments were erected by grateful species. They all bore the same simple inscription in multiple languages. They were considered apex predators until humans killed them all.